Let's go. Yeah. I really got the feeling today that everything is going my way. Now this is what I'm talking about. Every time I see your smile, it makes me shout. Let's go. Let's go. Nothing's gonna stop us today. Get on the bus or get out the way. We're cruising with the radio on. So turn it up to 10. Here comes our favorite song. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
See, awesome. Sorry for that small technical hitch. Welcome to another episode of IoT Tuesday. Today is Tuesday, and in today's episode, I'm going to take a detour. We started, we were from last week. We're trying to deploy IoT, Windows IoT Core on Raspberry Pi. We did that last week, and I was going to show you how to actually deploy a .NET Core application on the Raspberry Pi. But in the spirit of Ignite, Microsoft Ignite is going on. In the spirit of Ignite, I just want to throw just some few highlights on what's happening. And then also just to do something a bit different. So when we come back, we're going to be talking about some of the cool things that have been announced in Ignite. Well, some of them have been, in preview for a while now, just, you know, being talked about in Ignite. So when we come back, I'm going to talk about that. Great. So Ignite is going on. Lots of sessions, lots of keynotes, lots of fun goodies, lots of, things to look out for. Really, really interesting. I just wanna, throw light on a few things that have been mentioned, you know, at Ignite, which I think, are cool in respect or connection to IoT. So I want to talk about Visual Studio Online. Really cool. Allows you to have your own, environment online to, test it out, write code, fix stuff. Awesome. So if you haven't tried it, check it out. I think it's amazing. It's amazing because, you don't need to worry about all, the infrastructure, just internet access and you're sorted out. Now, a few things that have been mentioned at Ignite this week. One of them is the um, IoT Central, which has already been running for some time now. But the one that they thrown light on is IoT plug and play. Now, traditionally, just like the way printers work, you have a printer, you connect it to a Windows device, Windows machine, and automatically, drivers, everything are set up, and you can use the printer. Now, it's the same concept with Azure IoT plug and play. Now, the whole idea is that I can connect any of my, IoT kits or sensors or, boards connect it to Azure IoT Central or IoT Hub, and then I should be able to use it without going through a lengthy provision. Now, if you've done cloud provisioning for IoT devices, you can understand how cumbersome that is. But with the IoT plug and play, it allows you to easily, provision devices onto IoT Central or IoT Hub. So today we're going to be taking a sneak peek at how, IoT Central, the whole UI, how it looks like, and then we'll try to connect, an MX chip to it, and then see how that goes. We'll try to keep it simple, try to keep it short, but then maybe on Sunday I'll go a lot more in depth on that. So today, just to take you to what we'll be looking at, we're not using any of these boards, so we can just push them here. Or actually, we can just let's push them somewhere here. So today I'm going to be talking about this kit. This is the MXChip dev kit. Now, it's a dev kit because this actually has all the sensors. Like, well, not all the sensors, but it has a number of the sensors. So you can see this as, let's say it has a gyroscope there. It has an accelerometer. I think it has a humidity and pressure sensor. It has a magnetometer as well. So it pretty much has, and it has an OLD on screen that you can actually see some displays on. Now, so the whole idea of this is that it's just a one device or a kit that you can use to prototype and test. You don't need to connect sensors and all that. But again, this is just to, show you how this is done. Because ideally you want to connect some other sensors that are not on the board. But once you understand how to connect this kit, it makes it easy for you to connect, let's say, a Raspberry Pi or any of the devices that run Windows IoT Core and connect them to the cloud. So that's what we'll be using in today's episode. I actually have this one already connected. I'll actually put in the show notes how to get it started. This one is Wi-Fi enabled, so you can connect it to your Wi-Fi, so it can have internet access to send telemetry data into the cloud. So that's what we'll be using. Let's see if I can actually, let me try to adjust this. Yeah, so that I can have this, yeah, a lot more here. Awesome. Yeah, so you can see that more from here. So if I should connect this right now to my PC, it's going to light up, and a few things would happen. I've already provisioned this on my local Wi-Fi, so it should connect to the Wi-Fi and tell me it's connected probably to the IoT hub now. For the purposes of this, because it has my IP there, that's why I'm deliberately turning it that way so you don't actually see my IP. So back to this point. So with this said, I'm going to take you through a few things you need to do. First of all, you need to have an Azure IoT. You need to have an Azure account because you need to provision the IoT Central. You need to create an IoT Central app, and then you need to determine, or you need to actually provide a device template. Now, a device template is basically a capability list written in JSON. Actually, just tells IoT Central, what the capabilities of this device is, what sensor information is this device bringing, what properties are we tracking. So you need to create that. So let's go right into it. Let me bring in my browser. Let's see, where are we? So let me do this, yeah, quickly. I'm gonna bring this here. Okay, so let me go to portal.azure.com. Now I have pre-logged in, so it shouldn't take that long to log us in. Let me actually flip to the screen so you can see that. Um, my super cool password. Well, we are back in, so I can come back for you to see. Bum, 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 bum. Boo, 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 boo. Awesome. Okay, so yep. So right here, I'm going to take you to the IoT Central board. Now, this allows you to create your IoT apps. I've actually created one, but let's just do this now. So this is, if we go to aka.ms.iot central, this should take us to the IoT. And I've already logged on, with my account. So basically, it's just a creation of all the Azure services that you will use in an IoT project put together for you. So like automation with Power Apps, reporting with Power BI, if you want to connect to web and mobile, edge devices, gateway, and IoT devices, you can do that. Now the cool thing I like about this is the fact that, so if I go to build, okay, this is where I intend to create an IoT solution in the cloud. I can either choose from this template. So retail, maybe connected logistics, digital distribution center, in-store analytics checkout, smart inventory, or energy. If I want to do smart meter monitoring, if I want to do solar panel monitoring, or even in government, I want to do connected waste management, water consumption monitoring, water quality monitoring, or in healthcare, continuous patient monitoring. All these templates are available for you. So if you're using devices or sensors that give you this information, emanates this telemetric data, you can actually pick from here. Now, if you want to create your custom app, just click on custom. You give it a name. It auto provisions the URL. Now, if you want to just do a 7-day trial, I mean, you can change this to pay as you go after the trial, but pretty much, I mean, if you enable this, you're just trying it out. You're not transitioning to pay as you go. You have to provide your the directory, default directory based on your Azure subscription, your the region. Now, one thing to note is that there's a limitation on the regions that support IoT Central. It's not available in all the Azure regions. So just to demonstrate, let me see. I'm putting it in my Demystify Tech folder in my Visual Studio Enterprise. You can see, so there's just a limited number. Europe, US, I think Asia and Japan. Let me confirm that for you. So I think it is in not in Europe, US, Japan. Okay, so these are the three general centers that you can actually deploy IoT applications to. So once you do this, you click on create. Um, let's see, just for the purposes of just this demo, I'm just going to go ahead and create another one and say IoT underscore Tuesday underscore demo underscore one. And this will try to create a URL for that endpoint. The application template. Do I want to use a preview application? Do I want to use a custom application I'm building, or I want to use sample Devkit? Now, because we're using the Devkit, the Devkit, there are samples already there, so I can select those samples. This has already been pre-selected, so I click on create. It goes out in the loop to, you know, provision and create the infrastructure that I need. So that should happen pretty shortly. Yep. And so this is like my dashboard for the app I just created, right? This is a dashboard for the app I created. I can actually customize this by editing and taking out, adding other data points as I want. This is just a template. So if I want to change this, I can change. If I want to put that image there, if I want to put a map, if I want to put something else, I can easily change it and then click done. But that's not the scope of today's session. So we're just going to leave it that way. Now, let me go back to the dashboard and actually select the pre-configured. Okay, let's just use this. So now, once I have the IoT Central account and app created, I need to define the device template. So like we mentioned, the device template is basically what's going to tell me what sensor information or what telemetry my IoT device is going to send. So let's go to device template. Now I have a few device. These are default device templates. Now because we're using the MXChip board, I can just go ahead and select this, and let's see, let's go back once. I can just select this, right? So yeah, that's it. If I don't want this, I can click new, and then go ahead and select the board that I want, or custom. Now when you select a custom template, it means that you're going to provide your own templates defined in JSON. Like, let's see, I think I have a sample of it right here. Let's open this in Sublime Text and let me pull this here to show you. So this is an example of how the device template file looks like. It's just a simple JSON. You know, the defining the type, defining the properties this device will be giving us, and then there are interfaces for sensors. Now, what sensors is going to show? It's going to show the device stage, the customer name, the brightness level, the temperature. So this is just an example of what the device template looks like. So if you don't select from the options there and you want to create your own, you'd have to provide that template. But because we're already using, we want to use this pre-made one, I can just select this and this becomes a template. Now, as you can see, these are the data point that this Devkit is going to give us. The accelerometer, um, different gyroscope X, gyroscope Y, accelerometer. Like you can pretty much add up to this or take this out. If I can actually edit it, give it, a display name. Now, these are the names, the field names are the names that you're going to reference it in your application. And these are just display names that will show here. Now, one thing I want you to notice is that we just created the app. We didn't do anything, but out of the box, we actually have all these like pre-made for us. We even have a complete dashboard done. Let me quickly go to the dashboard and show you this. So if you go to the dashboard, look at this. This has been pre-made for us. We didn't have to swear. Now this is using Power BI embed to do that. It's using some components of Power BI. But you can see this data is just coming in. All right out of the box, right from Azure IoT Central. So you're not worried about now I need to create UI or front end like a web endpoint for my devices to read the sensors. And I will do a longer post on actually doing developing a small, let's say a small smart garden which will have sensor data that I'll be pushing onto IoT Central, and I'll leave that on for you to check. So this is out of the box. So let's go back to the measurement. These are the data points. Now you realize that some data is coming in. So you ask, well, we've not connected the device, so how is the data coming? Like I mentioned, I have pre-configured the board. If I go back to that, like I mentioned, I have pre-configured it. So some data is going, but at this point, that is not the data you are seeing on the dashboard. Let me show you what you're seeing. Now let's go to devices. As you can see, by default, there is one simulated device. Now, it is the simulated device that is actually giving us that information. If we draw that into the simulated device, that is what we are seeing. So, if you don't have this kit, right, don't worry. You can still go ahead and try Azure IoT Central because you can use simulated devices, Raspberry Pis, the Devkit, and you should be fine. You don't need the kit itself to do that. So, let's take a look at a few things. Now, settings. Yeah, these are just some information that let's see if I do this now, just to illustrate the power of IoT Central. Now we have, if you've been working with IoT, there's something we call device to cloud communication. That's kind of like the common thing that happens with IoT. You send telemetric information from your device to the cloud. All right. That's just about like the common thing you do. Now sometimes also you want the ability to control the devices from the cloud or by sending commands. Now that is cloud to device. Now these commands are easily done within IoT Central, and I'm going to show you how to do that in today's episode. So at the moment um, we only have our simulator device running. So let's go ahead and see. If I say that I change the fan speed to 10, right, and I update, let's quickly go back to the dashboard and see what happens. Now we should see some form of some form of data change happening. Now because it's a simulated device, we wouldn't let's see, let me actually change another property that will make it a lot more easier for us to see. Now, before that, so you realize that if you go to the dashboard, it's the map, right? It's showing the location, the device location. All right, it's showing the device location. That is because that is what has been set here in the device location. Now, do you realize that we can actually change this? That is because per the definition of the device template, these fields are immutable. We can't change them. So it's just kind of it's just a way of adding some other security where some of the fields are immutable and others are not, right? So cool. Now devices. So we can go ahead and now say, hey, I want to add a device. All right. Now, what device do I want to add? Do I want to add a real device or do I want to add a simulated device? Now, there are a few things you need to take note before you add a real device. Um, let's see. Just responding to this message as usual. Let's see. Yep. Let me try to make this a little big so it's not too pixelated. Yeah, and let me get out of this view so you can see the entirety of it. Yeah, I think this should be cool. Yep. Okay, so yeah, so like I mentioned, there are a few things you need to take note of when you are trying, all right, when you're trying to add a real device. So let's go to administration, and here, application settings where you can set the logo, the name, you can modify the URL, you know, just a few things you can change from here. That's a no-brainer. Now, the most important thing is device connection. So a few things you need to take note of. Some of these things are critical, but I will change them in a which way. But this is a unique ID. Okay, this is a unique ID for the device. I need to make note of this. So I'm just going to copy this and keep it safe somewhere. Keep it safe somewhere. And then the next thing is your key. All right, is a shared access key. This is what allows your device to authenticate and tell itself, hey, this is the real me. Now, I'm taking you through the regular way of doing it. So, because this is quite sensitive, let's get this done. Awesome. So, I got that done pretty fast, right? Okay, cool. So, with that said, let's see. Okay, so yeah, so now that's done. Now with those two pieces, I can go ahead and now configure my device to use those pieces because it's based on those pieces that I'm going to now send real telemetry data from my device, okay, to the cloud and then from the cloud to my device. All right, so let's go ahead now. Let's go to devices and now I'm going to do a real device. All right, there's going to be some info there as well. So let's do this, a real device. And yep, I'm going to copy these values. Don't worry. I've actually recycled it. So if you thought you saw anything, oops, too bad. So device name, get is done, and the device ID. Okay. So now that I have created the device. Now, this is the name of the device, all right, that I created. Now, because it's now a real device, you realize that I am no longer getting the telemetry. This is because I'm no longer, how do you call it? I'm no longer simulating it. If I go to devices, I'm saying that this is my real device. So if I select this root device, as of now, I haven't configured a device with the data with the configuration values that I took from the portal. So I'm now going to do that. But if I go back to devices and say, well, let's use my simulated device. Now I'm getting the telemetry. Okay, so whilst I go set that up, let's keep this running. Ba-ba-ba. Okay. No, 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 no. I have some cheat sheet I use. Where did I put that? Pum, 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 pum. Okay. Okay, so all right, so cool. So the now that we have the information, we need to set up our device. Now, a few things you need to do. You first of all need to put the let me switch to the bench so you can see it. You need to put this, you need to put the device in the setup mode so that you can connect to it and then how do you call it, passing the information like the credential or the configuration information. Now, to do this, you would have to enable the Wi-Fi on board of this. You need to enable it to turn into an access point, and then you connect with a different computer to that network, and then I can set the Wi-Fi and then connect how do you call it, and then connect to this. So let's see. All right, let me quickly do this. If I put this here, so all I'm trying to do now is I'm trying to move that information to a location where I can easily grab it and then set it up for us to see. And set it up, set it up, set it up, set it up, set it up. Okay, so let's create a new document here. And I'm just going to paste this here and then I'll just save this as MX. Uh-oh. We'll just see MXChip details. Alright. So I'll just persisting that information somewhere that I can easily pick it. So what will happen is that I now need to let me show you. Actually, you know what? Because this can take some time, let me show you this. Let me show you. You know what? Okay, so um okay, so whilst that's happening, let me actually open my other machine. Actually, I could use an iPhone, or sorry, I could use an iPad. That works. That works. Oh, let's bring this here and run this. So, um, I have just, I'm just going to connect, I'm going to connect this to another computer which I have just started on the side, and I will configure the new settings using the data I just copied from Azure, and we'll show this because I want to really show you the device, the sorry, cloud to device command and vice versa. So I'll set this up for us to use. I wanted to go through this with you guys. So whilst that's happening, if you have any questions for me, don't forget, drop them in the chat. I will respond. If you have any specifics for me, let me know, and I would be glad to answer the questions for you. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Yep, yep, yep. I see some great stuff happening thanks to my folks at NIT Ghana. Yes, I'm an alumni of NIT Ghana, proud one. Thanks for sharing um, and letting people know what's going on. Really appreciate that. So to put our device in the Wi-Fi mode, all right. This is what you do. I'm gonna press the B button, press and hold the B button, all right, and then just press and release the reset. And as you can see, it it tells you that hopefully you can see this well. Let's see. I'm trying to hopefully you can see this. Let me put my finger here so to see if it can autofocus with this. That's still blurred. Okay, there we go. So IoT Devkit in the access point mode, that's the access point ID. And to configure it, I need to go to this endpoint. That's 192.168.0.1. So what I'm going to do right now is that the other laptop that I have, I'm actually going to use the other laptop to connect to that access point and then configure this device on the Wi-Fi I wanted to use, and then also configure the scope ID and the token and all that I got from IoT Central. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. So let's put that there, and then I'm going to connect. Welcome, 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 welcome. Okay, we are almost there. 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 Pam pam pam. Yep, yep. Actually, there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on at Ignite. If you're not following, I would actually encourage you to do, cause cool stuff, great and awesome things going on. So right now what I'm doing, unfortunately, I don't have you know what? I think I do. Hold on, let's see. Um, I have another setup here. Let's see if I can get this to work. Keep my fingers crossed. I have another screen. Let's see if I can get that going for you. Nope, that's not working. Um, so, oh well, this seems fun. Okay, let's try this. Yep, there we go. Let's see. And yeah, so I'm just trying to see if I can send some signal to you so you guys will probably see what's happening on this side of things. Let me try this again. Yes. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, so now, so this is the second computer that I'm using. All right. So what I need to do now is to actually go in there and connect to this endpoint, to this access point that the dev kit is showing. So, yep. I think is this one. We connect to it. And once it's connected, I'm actually going to open the browser. Because I'm using this main machine to stream, I wouldn't have been able to use it because once I disconnect, obviously we're going to go offline. So that's why I'm using this machine to do that. Yep. Yeah, we're connecting. I don't think you're going to get internet here, so let's see. Yeah, it's connected, just that there's no internet, so that's all we need. Yeah. So the endpoint here is we need to connect to 192.168.0.1. It's actually going to show on the dev kit, so this is not a top secret thing to worry about because it's just going to show. Hopefully you guys can see that. I see there's a bit of a lag in there, but okay, so we're connecting to this, and then okay, and I'm just connecting to um I'm just connecting to, how do you call it? Connect to the kit, just setting up. So what I have just done is just to set up the Wi-Fi, all right? And I have the latest firmware already installed on it. Bum, bum, bum. Now I should see this. Okay, so now that this is hold on, let's see. So this is connected. Okay. So now that this is connected, let's see, is it still connected to, no. So this, let's connect back to our device and connect. Let me just set this to connect automatically. And let's forget about this and forget about this. So we don't have, we don't have any, let's see, what are we connected to? Yeah, there's someone lingering in front of my door right now. Okay. So whilst that's connecting, yeah, so we are connected. So now I'm going to go to that same URL 192.168. I think is 0.192.168.0.1, and then I'll go to slash start. Let's see. Let's connect to this. Okay. Okay. I would have to put it back in the in that mode so I can configure it. Connecting to Wi-Fi. Yes. And okay. Yep. Yep. So right now all I'm trying to do is trying to reset it again. I'm trying to reset it again. Yep. So that I can set it up. So let's cancel this. Okay. So it looks like My screen is stuck on this, so it's not actually changing. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and set it up and quickly come back to, um, yeah. Okay, so we have this. Let's connect. 192.168.0.1. Um, yep, yep. Okay, so it's connected, but there's no internet, so that's good. And then we do this, and let's actually do this and go to start. All right, so now we want to set up, let's do this. So we want to set this up. So yeah, so before that, I need to download the IoT Central firmware, because that's what allows us to set it up easily. So let me bring this in focus and show you this. So the firmware is here. Let's just bring this here. So this is the firmware that we need to download, okay, and actually deploy onto the device. So I'm going to do that before connecting so you can see the difference. Let's bring this here. So all I have to do is, this is a release, so this is it. So I'm going to download it. Oh, sorry about that. Uh, let's move this here. Hey, I'm just going to put it on a desktop. So IoT, yep, save this. It's just a very simple, very simple file. So with that said, now what happens is that when you connect, anytime you connect your dev kit, it shows as a storage. So it shows as a storage like this. So all I need to do now is just to, where is that, Azure? Yeah. So just drag this onto here. And what's happening is that if I flip to the bench, you see that it's flashing. So it's actually flashing the dev kit. It's flashing it with the IoT Central firmware. Yeah, so once that is done, it's just going to try to reboot, right? Awesome. So that's done. Yep, and then it says that now please wait, trying to connect to Wi-Fi. And what I'll do now is, with this done, I'm going to put it back into the access point mode, because now I have a firmware from IoT Central that will allow me to configure it. So I'm going to put it in the access point mode now. So access point mode, press and hold the B button, and then press the reset button for a while, probably just for like a couple of seconds, and then release the reset button. Yeah, and then it puts it back, as you can see, in the preparation mode. So now I can come back here, um, and connect to it. Just make sure that, so I'm on the second computer right now, and I'm connecting to the dev kits, as it's showing as an access point right now. So once that is done, I can go to that IP address 192.168.0.1, and then /start, and there um, I'll be able to set up. So let's close this. There I'll be able to set it up quite easily. Yep. So it's connected. No internet. That's fine. So /start. Okay. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Yep. IoT Central. So this is the Wi-Fi config. Yeah. and then we can start view. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead. Let's connect this to it, set up a password. Okay, so it's connecting. Okay, looks like it's connected. Okay, yep, this is connected. All right, so whilst that's happening, we're just waiting for that to complete the handshake. And then now we should have telemetry data coming from this device to our IoT cloud. Yes, waiting for that boot to happen. All right. So basically, so that's how you set up the MXChip and IoT Central to communicate. So once this is complete, once the handshake is complete, now data is actually going to be sent from this IoT device, the MXChip, to IoT Central, and then you can go in and modify anything you want. You can change the look and feel. You can update it. You can, try other devices. There are actually other simulators or Raspberry Pi as well. So what I would encourage you to do is to go in there, try to use a Raspberry Pi as well simulator, try to add some files to it, try to change a few things, and hey, let's see what you make. Well, so until I come away again next Friday for Functions Friday, be safe, play it cool, learn something, share something, be excited about something, and make it a point to learn something new each day. And I bet you won't regret. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel, subscribe to my all the social media channels and endpoints so that when I release any new video and I'm going live, you can get it. Until then, it has been yours truly, Samuel Adrani. Till we meet again. Adios.